Hey friends, better late than never. Worm here today to talk about Striker Titans and the, I guess you could say the nerf that they recently received. And I want to talk today about whether it was enough, whether it was too much, or whether it was right on point. Now, particularly, of course, we are talking about Striker Titans, which the main nerf that Striker Titans got was Knockout had its range substantially reduced. Of course, melees in this game, I believe, have a 4.5 meter range. Knockout used to add 2 meters to that range, so you could punch somebody 6.5 meters away, and basically it resulted in a lot of instances where you would be shooting at a Titan and he would punch you, or he'd punch another person and literally teleport, and it was very, very frustrating. But Bungie reduced it so that Knockout still has a place. It still increases your melee lunge range when you damage a target to a certain amount of their health. However, it only gives you an extra meter of range. So it's gone down from 6.5 to 5.5. Now the other nerf, and this isn't so much a Striker Titan nerf, this is just a general Titan nerf, I guess if you want to call it, and that is they took away, or I'm sorry, they added a cooldown feature kind of to shoulder charges. And that is that when you shoulder charge and you don't connect with a target, instead of consuming no melee energy, it will now consume 15% of your melee energy, which at tier 10 resilience is like 7 seconds to get it back. And I think at tier 0 resilience, it's like something like 20 or 25 seconds. I don't exactly remember the numbers, but was this enough? Was this bad for Titans? Was it good for Titans? Was it good for everybody else? And I've been playing, of course, a lot of Striker Titan. Y'all know me. I love me some Striker. I like using Peacekeepers and double SMGs. Like, it's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I didn't have any gameplay of it, so I'm not going to see that here. But I think that the nerf to Knockout, and that's where I want to start, is appropriate. And as much as I love the ability to lunge literally like a mile towards somebody and get out of the way of people shooting you and all that stuff, it was too much. It was too much on players' tracking ability, because when somebody melees, and I don't have like specific testing on this, but when somebody melees, it feels like your ability to hit them goes out the window. Now I play on controller, so aim assistance is a thing. Aim assistance is gone when somebody melees, especially from that far away. They lunge out and it's like, oh my God, where did they just go? They literally just teleport forward. And I know, like, if you slow it down, there's an animation where they lunge forward. They don't literally just teleport like a blink or something like that, but it still makes it very, very difficult to track them. Of course, if you're on M&K, it's probably easier to recenter your target, but at the same time, it's still very frustrating that this person literally just teleports, because it almost feels like lag or like latency or something like that. But on controller, of course, very difficult to track them. Not only that, but 6.5 meters was it was too much. Like, there's an exotic that gives you 6.5 meter melee range for Titans. It's the Synthoceps. And this aspect just gave it to you for free. Like, you have to break somebody's shield, and it allows you to clean up. So of course, players would pair this with a shotgun or a submachine gun, something close range, so that they could come in, break your shield, clean you up with a melee, and of course start health regeneration. That's another big thing that Knockout does. It starts your health regeneration. And I think that it was too much beforehand. And I think that where it is now, it feels good, because when I was playing Striker Titan, number one, I think the biggest thing I want to point out, I felt way, way, way less or way fewer instances of what I anticipated I was going to run into. And I know that sounds confusing, so let me just explain it. Pre-nerf, they said, oh, we reduced the range to 5.5 meters. I thought that as I'm playing Striker Titan, I'm going to notice a massive difference. Like, oh my God, like, I'm not going to be able to hit anybody anymore, punch anybody. But when I get in game, the number of engagements where I actually like meleeed somebody and it didn't hit when used to it would have connected was very few. I mean, in a like 7 game play session, I can think of 3 instances where I thought, oh my gosh, like, if I had pre-nerf Knockout, I would have killed that guy and I would have full healed, But 3 instances, whenever I was thinking, before the nerf happened, I was thinking it would be a lot more. I was thinking it would be, immensely, oh my God, I'm going to notice it almost every time I go to punch somebody, I'm going to notice it. But it's not. Okay, maybe that's just because I play close range. Maybe it's because I don't, I don't go in for melees until I'm for sure within range. And, lots of people know that the exact, lunge meter or whatever of knockout. They've had time to learn, like, okay, if I'm exactly this far, like this is the maximum melee I can get, blah, 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 whatever. Of course, I don't feel that. Okay, so yeah, like it's noticeable on occasion. It is noticeable on occasion, but it's not something that players, Titan mains, are going to struggle with. It's really not something that Titan mains should be complaining about. Like, I am a Titan main through and through. Okay, I know you're watching Warlock gameplay here, but I consider myself a Titan main, and I'm okay with it. And if you are a Titan and you're playing that close range, shotgun slash SMG rushing playstyle, you also should not feel a major difference in, in the whole melee hits and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on knockout. As for the shoulder charge nerf, of course, it's difficult to get used to. It's difficult to get used to, and I want to knee jerk and say I don't like it, but at the same time, it's nice when I'm shooting a Titan, they can't just shoulder charge out of the way. And I think that everybody who plays Crucible can agree, whether you're a Titan or not, that hey, it's nice to not have a shoulder charge or a Titan just be running and just up and shoulder charge right out of the way, of all your damage. And you can't track him. You can't snipe him because they move so fast. You can't shotgun him. It feels like you can't really do anything. And so I think that the nerf to shoulder charge was a necessary thing. Not only that, but it's also spiced up the meta. I see a lot more players using Ballistic Slam and Thunderclap. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name off the top of my head. More players are using Ballistic Slam and Thunderclap in the Crucible. Like I was playing the other day, and this man, he was using Ballistic Slam, and he kept just destroying us. I was like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? Like, why is this one hitting? Well, because he had on the Syntheseps with biotic enhancements, and as he would come in, right before he hits the ground, it would activate because I got 3 of my teammates here, and it would kill us all. And yeah, like it's frustrating at one hit kill, but at the same time, it's part of his build. Like he's dedicating an exotic to it. He's dedicating his melee to it. Like I wasn't mad about it, and I thought it was pretty cool. It made me want to go out and try it. So it's nice to see some shifts in the meta. And I know that's always been a possibility. Before somebody says it, well, that's always been possible. I know it's always been possible to get one-hit Ballistic Slam kills with Syntheseps, but we're seeing it more, which is refreshing. It's really refreshing. As for the other subclasses, of course, I've never had an issue with Shield Bash or Hammer Strike, and really, Seismic Strike was only, in my opinion, targeted by me, particularly. Like I'm only mentioning Seismic Strike because so many ARC players are in the Crucible. But again, it needed to happen. The ability to basically teleport with a melee, because it is so fast. Like I have never been sniped out of a shoulder charge, never, and I don't think I could ever hit somebody out of a shoulder charge without using heavy or something. But yeah, I think it was appropriate. I think it was a good nerf. Of course, I think there's still some work to be done, in terms of with the Titan class. I think that we're in a good spot right now with Titans. The work that I think needs to be done, I think, sorry, not Ballistic Slam, Thunder Crash still needs some kind of tuning in the Crucible. Like it is way too easy to steer it around and get multiple kills. Like I watched a Titan the other day activate it, enemy Titan, activate it, loop in, kill 2 of my teammates, and then basically come in like a little loop and come and smash me. And it's one of those things like that in my opinion shouldn't happen. Like for a one and done super, because that's what Ballistic Slam is basically. It's kind of like Nova Bomb. Like you throw a Nova Bomb, it's one and done. It's a big instant DPS and it should be over. I don't think that the ability to just drive it around basically and wipe out 3 or 4 opponents is needed. But Bungie has taken a step in the right direction with the knockout nerf, and they have taken a step in the right direction with the shoulder charge nerf. So I'm very happy to say that that's what's gone on. But yeah, that's it for this video. Of course, I want to know you guys thoughts on the Striker Titan nerf, and really I guess just the Titan nerf in general, but mainly how do you feel about knockout? Like, are you experiencing sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Are you experiencing a lot of instances where you feel like, oh, if I should have had that kill, like old Striker would have got it, Or are you kind of in the same boat as me where it's like, I thought I would be getting a lot more frustrated because they nerfed the range, but really I don't feel much difference. Let me know your guys, thoughts and opinions, of course. Also, shoulder charge, how do you feel about the nerf? Do you like it? Do you hate it? For me personally, like, it's definitely taken some getting used to. I think I use my shoulder charge now as more of a means of immediate escape, because you can still activate it and use it as a means to get away. Like, I'm not saying that's not impossible, but you can only do it once every X seconds. Like, at tier 10 resilient, tier 10 strength, sorry, you can only use it once every 7 seconds. So I don't know. Yeah, just let me know your guys' thoughts on it. Of course, if you like the video, drop a like. It helps the channel out a lot. Please subscribe for more daily Destiny content, because we have a lot of fun stuff that we do on here. And of course, do me a favor, watch the video you see on the end screen now, because for whatever reason, YouTube thinks that you will like it. That's it for me, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.